why they're longer. But they're still on the princess seam, 1.25 inches apart at the top, and they flare out from each other at the bottom. And we're going to go 5.5 inches down. Okay? So our new darts are going to be longer. Okay, but the same spacing situation. Okay. What else do we see on the back? So the top part should just be an easy trace, right? So we're tracing the outer shape. We can partially trace the darts, but we're going to extend them and make them longer, 5.5 inches longer. Does it still have a hem? Yeah, so the same kind of hem that you did in the front, you'll do it in the back. What's different though? We have a zipper.
And then there's a slit in the bottom.
Okay, what's this called? So a slit is if it's just separating. What's it called when it overlaps? Anybody know?
I wrote down in order of appearance, daughter.
So this is a vent. Okay, a vent. And what details do we see with the zipper and the vent? What do you think we're going to need to draw? So there's a center back seam line. So for a portion of this, the zipper can open, and then the zipper stops, and then there's a seam, and then below the seam is where the vent opening starts. What else do you see? That little stitching. So this is top stitching. Anytime you see stitching on the outside of the garment, it's called top stitching because it's on top. So we see stitching, okay? Is the stitching going to be regular overlapping lines? Regular. Okay, so we see just regular stitching. Line down. There's actually, it's not attached yet. I think whoever pressed this last kind of pressed a little crease there, but it's not, there's no actual stitching coming down. What's this all about? What's this diagonal stitch across here? Actually has a function. It's not necessarily decorative. I tried to find matching thread so it wouldn't show up that high. What does it do? It keeps this underlapping flap, it keeps it in place so it doesn't kind of flop around in there and sag. So it adds some kind of structure to the top of this vent, and it reinforces it so when she walks it doesn't wrinkle. Okay, so we are going to draw this top stitch. There isn't any other stitching here. The only other stitching we'll see is the little dot, dot, dot of the blank hem. Okay, so how would you go about this? What markers would you use? How would you figure out the size?
Would you use bold for where the vent is?
Yeah, we're going to use bold because there's an opening there. We're going to give a visual cue that you can wrap your hand around it. I like to use bold because even if we're not doing any shading, the bold draws your eye to that area and lets you know something's going on. Okay? So yes, we'll use bold from the bottom of the hem to the top of where that vent opening is. And it even looks darker because you're seeing shadow and dimension, right? And then from here up, we'll use what? Medium. Now in here, this is called an invisible zipper. The idea is you're not seeing any stitching or anything on the outside, and all you really see is this little zipper pull. It's supposed to not show up, but you can kind of even tell that this is a seam that can't be undone, and that there might be an opening here. It dents in a little bit more. So for zipper openings, I also like to use a bold to indicate, to give your eye a cue that there's something going on there. So for the zipper, we're going to want to draw the little zipper pull. We're going to go bold for however long it can open, medium for the seam, bold again for the vent. Okay, who wants to help me measure? Who hasn't measured yet today? Come on up. What do we want to measure? Which one do you want to measure?